is consistently rated among the top umpires by players, executives, and managers, and that's not easy to do with managers like you. He's known as being fair and consistent. There are 8 umpires in the Hall of Fame, including such greats as Jocko Conlon, Bill Clem, Al Barlick, Nestor Shylock. Wouldn't be surprised if someday the name Tim McCullough is added, but we are honored. As a veteran pitch and hit club participant, I am particularly honored to present to you for the award tonight, Major League umpire Tim McCullough.
I appreciate that. I'm a little leery of having a bat in my hand. As Tom said, the last 2 bats I've held on to, one of them had too much pine tar and the other one had cork in it. So I'm trying to find something wrong with this bat. I'll let you know in a minute. I appreciate the Pitch and Hit Club nominating me for this award. They asked me to say a few words, a little more than everybody else. It's kind of dark up here, so it's a little tough to read my notes, so if you'll bear with me, I need a little assistance. I haven't said anything yet. As Don said, I'm 27. I'm going to start my 27th year in the major leagues. My very first year in the big leagues, I was either fortunate or unfortunate enough to have George Brett incident happen. Actually, I owe my career to George Brett. Maybe this honor, because a lot of people have asked me over the years, said, what was George yelling at you when he came charging out of the dugout? And I'll clean up the language a little bit, but he kept saying, you're terrible, you're brutal, you'll never last in this league. And I wanted to prove him wrong, so I spent the last 27 years proving him wrong, and thank goodness it's worked out well for me. I say George Brett isn't a very smart man, though, because he charged out the dugout. I'm 6'6", I weigh 260 pounds, I have protective equipment on, and I had a bat in my hand. What George thought he was going to do, I don't know when he got up there, but you know, George isn't a very smart man, I'll have to tell you that. When he was being looked at when he was in high school, one of the scouts came up to him and said, George, what do you run the 40-yard dash in? George said, my gym shorts. Despite that answer, he was drafted by the Royals, and they had an aptitude test. All rookies had to take an aptitude test. And on one section, the religion section, they asked George, name 3 men in the cloth. George said, Hart, Schaffner, and Marx. On the science section, they said, who invented the light? George said, Miller. So, as you can tell, actually, George did get a 4-point in high school. Unfortunately, that was his blood alcohol limit. When I think back on that, Billy Martin was the one that brought it to my attention. He came around the dugout and said, hey, pal, he's got too much pine tar in his bat. And I think back, and Billy Martin accusing Brett of using pine tar to gain an advantage. It's like accusing Morgana, the kissing bandit, of using a training bra. But I think if Billy Martin really, really thought that pine tar could make you hit better, I think he would have gobbed it from his fingertips to his shoulders when he went out bar hopping. That whole event made me think back to my childhood. I have to tell you that I was born and raised on a farm, and I was out plowing the field one day, and I had a mule in front of me, and we were going along, and all of a sudden the mule stopped. So I took out my whip, and I whipped him, and I whipped him, and I whipped him, and finally that mule fell over dead. My dad was standing off in the distance, and he saw the whole scenario, and he came up to me and he said, son, he said, someday that ass is going to come back to haunt you. Until that day in Yankee Stadium on July 24th, I didn't believe him. So I do appreciate you inviting me here. I thank you. I thank the Pitch and Hit Club. It's not very many times that an umpire gets an honor, and I am very honored to be here and to accept this award. And thank you. I'll leave you with a small story. The Devil and St. Peter were going to have a baseball game one day. They're talking. St. Peter says, how do you expect to win this game? I've got Cy Young, I've got Babe Ruth, I've got Mickey Mantle, I've got all the great players. The Devil just looked at him and said, yeah, but I got the umpires. Thank you very much.
Well, that's it for the day. But make sure you tune in, same place, same time, and check out the coach on podcast, YouTube, and Facebook. And don't forget to log on to our website.